Okay, so let's see. If you win this battle and Cray is still alive, which he is, turn to 257. All right, 257. The battle is over, and Cray is overwhelmingly grateful for your rescue. Between you, you managed to save the boy, Cray's plucky younger brother. The orcs have destroyed much, but Cray refuses to abandon his home. The crops have been left intact, and we live in a barn until the house is rebuilt, he says firmly. I hear things are even worse in the west, with the undead rising and the Deathless King's return. We'll take our chances here. Nowhere is truly safe, you muse, and there is little more you can do for the brave young brothers. They insist on giving you some additional traveling rations. Gain an extra day of rations.
Okay.
And gather up as many coins as they can from the fallen orcs. 6 gold pieces isn't much, but it's generous given the circumstances.
Okay, got that.
You take a short rest to gather your strength and then bid the brothers farewell, returning to the path. All right, so turn to 259. Let's change the tune. All right, 259. The road continues to wind through climbing hills and long abandoned farmsteads. The sun is setting low, and you begin to despair that you will see Tarova at all. Finally, the settlement winds into view, a shabby-looking town with a dilapidated wall. At least there might be inn rooms and soft beds. Before you reach the town, you are intercepted by 5 burly guards, weighed down with rusty ringmail armor and the heavy halberds they bear. They bark at you to stop, demanding to know your business on the road. We are not being accompanied by someone named Tom. If not, read on. You explain that you are travelers, footsore and weary, and that you are merely passing through. The guards look at each other for a conspiratorial moment and then demand you hand over 5 gold pieces as a tax for entering the village. I love these tolls that we have to pay or not pay. A, we can roll our eyes and pay the tax. B, we can attempt to negotiate a better price. C, we can call out this obviously invented tax and demand to be allowed in. B, we can refuse to pay the tax, insisting that you are not staying in the village anyways. So we got 5 burly guards asking us to hand over 5 gold pieces as a tax for entering the village. Are we going to pay the tax? Are we going to negotiate a better price? Are we going to call out that it's an invented tax and demand to be allowed in? Or are we going to refuse to pay the tax? Those are our 4 options.
What are you thinking?
I am tempted to call out that this is extortion and say, "Let us in." That's kind of where I'm leaning right now.
Yep, I agree.
All right, so if you call out that this is obviously invented tax and demand to be allowed in, turn to 41. Whoa, turn to 41. All right, that tax is a load of bull, you state bluntly. Now step aside unless you want your jaw broken.
Nice.
Make a DC 14 intimidation check. Intimidation.
Oh.
I should have used Gareth. If you fail, turn to 189.
Here we go.
Forget the talk. I've heard it all before, yawns the sergeant. It's 6 gold pieces now, or you can sleep in a ditch tonight. If you pay the guards 6 gold pieces, turn to this page, or this one, or we got 2 choices. We can pay the guards now 6 gold pieces, or we can sleep outside.
We can't attack them?
Does not say we can, nope.
Well, then obviously we'll pay the tax. I mean, we got plenty of gold. I thought we were going to end up fighting them.
Do we have plenty of gold?
We got 57 gold pieces. 57.
All right. Pay them the tax. Boo.
All right. Well, it doesn't give us the option, so.
Boo. I don't want to sleep outside either, so. All right. You don't want any trouble, and you have the coin to spare. You count out the gold pieces into the sergeant's hands, and he nods, practically salivating. The Pied Bull's the best inn, stranger, he advises. Food is pricey in town, what with the orc raids. Take what you can get while you can. That's my advice. With this, the guards heft their halberds and continue their patrol. You set off towards the village gates. Turn to 97. Okay. The sun is sinking rapidly behind the horizon by the time you reach the walls of Tarova. It is a small walled village, but the gates seem open and ready for visitors. We can, gives us 2 choices. We can stay at Tarova or we can sleep outside the gates.
I say we stay inside.
Yeah. I think we've spent money. Let's do that. All right, let's see. The watchman on the gate in Tarova gives the barest of grunts as he waves you through the doors. The village beyond isn't much, just a few ramshackle houses clustered around an inn and a dilapidated village church. It is night, and there will be no chance for any business until morning. We are not being accompanied by a boy named Tom, so let's see. The Pied Bull Inn is the largest drinking house in town. The other taverns apparently closed for the night. Pleasing smells of cooked food waft through the door, making your stomachs rumble. Indeed, the inn is surprisingly full. Rough-looking men and dwarves smoke long pipes and drink oversized cups of ale. The barwoman gives you a curt, if suspicious, welcome. Food is 4 gold pieces for the lot of you, she grunts. 5 gold pieces for a room. All right, we got several possibilities here. We can spend 2 gold pieces on a round of drinks for the inn. Ooh. Spend 4 gold pieces on some cooked food. Or just get a room for 5 gold pieces. Or we can save our money and sleep outside the village.
I think we should do all 3 of those things.
All right, let's start by... I agree. Let's buy a round for the inn. That sounds interesting.
Okay. 2
gold pieces, yeah.
All right.
Let's see what
All
that...
set.
Let's see what that wields us. Okay, 268. The mood of the inn greatly improves once you get your gold out and start buying rounds of drinks. Surprise! You are invited to the largest table in the inn to join in a game of Shove Gold, a local game where you have 3 attempts to flick a gold coin through a narrow wooden goal. It requires a fine eye and good coordination. If you wish to play, you must gamble 1 gold piece. Each PC may play twice, bidding 1 gold piece each time they play.
All right. 14. Oh, that's nice. 14.
There we go. So we win a gold piece.
So we put 1 down and we win 2. So we gain 1.
We gain 1, yeah.
All right. And the second round, we are looking at a 1. So we gained 1 and lost 1.
Well, we broke even. All right, during the game, you chat with your fellow contestants. They tell you of the dreadful difficulties they have been having with orc raiders from the north, and how many local farms have been burnt to the ground. They are also worried about the road to the east. It's been blockaded by a sinister group of creatures, mutters an old dwarf, deep in his cups. Glassfolk, or shardlings, we call them. Agents of the Deathless King they are, born in the Sea of Glass, the corrupted realm outside of Eldavor. Why are they blockading the road, you ask? They claim they have authority from the king, spits the dwarf. But I think they are trying to keep the locals away from something their master doesn't want anyone to find. Avoid them unless you fancy your chances in deadly battle. You thank the dwarf for his advice. Now we can spend 4 gold pieces on some cooked food, or we can forget the food and just get a room.
If we forget the food, then we're going to have to use another one of our rations if it's a long rest. So I would rather buy the food so we don't have to use a ration.
Let's do that. The food is a simple dish of stew and potatoes, but it tastes heavenly after 2 days on the road. Because you have eaten today, you do not need to cross off a day's rations when you sleep this evening. The food is not portable, so you cannot buy extra rations here. All right, so we can spend 2 more gold pieces for another round of drinks, or we can get ourselves a room. All right, so we get a room for 5 gold pieces.
All right, gotta take that off.
Feeling tired, you withdraw to your room, locking the door soundly behind you. There are enough beds for everyone, and you may sleep safe and sound until the morning. All right. You permit yourself a little longer in bed this morning, waiting for the sound of the village market to open. Once the hawkers have begun to cry, you pack your things, bid farewell to the barkeep, and make your way to the village square. Turn to 197. All right, the village market is quaint, largely selling domestic goods such as cloth, tools, and furniture. Food is rather rare, and most of it is fresh and ill-suited to traveling. You do manage to find a stall that sells a few interesting items, however.
Interesting.
A surly human with a pair of gruff dwarf bodyguards stands at a table full of knickknacks and weapons. A few items do stand out, but the marketeer refuses to let you handle them until you buy them. Do any of us have detect magic? I don't think I do.
Oh, I do. Oh, you know what? Guess what I have?
What do you have?
Detect magic.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
Well, okay. Cast it.
All right.
And turn to 142. Okay, this might change things. Let's see. Subtly casting your spell, you gaze over the table of items. The ring and the short sword glow with magic.
Ooh. All right, so down to 23.
Buy the 2 magic items. Okay. Turn to 37. 37. You leave the village of Tarova, passing back out of the gate and onto the road that leads east. If you bought any items in Tarova, you may check them now. You examine the ring and are surprised at how valuable it is. This is a ring of flame serpent.
Ooh.
That grants its wearer fire resistance.
Damn.
Nice. In addition, it allows you to speak in the Ingnan tongue, an exotic language spoken by fiery creatures. That might be some nice protection for Kaliva. So let me give her that.
Well, you know what? If she's gonna be the brute, she should have the protection. So.
Okay.
That sounds like.
Kaliva puts the ring on. All right, this short sword has a wonderfully sharp blade and is perfectly balanced. It is a +1 short sword.
Okay.
Once you have checked all of your purchases, turn to 155. 155, here we come. Leaving Tarova behind, you make your way a few miles along the road, the route becoming hilly and rather tiring to cross. Coming to a natural rise, you see a disturbing sight. The road ahead is blockaded by a number of sinister-looking humanoids. A barrier has been erected between two cliffs to effectively seal off the way onwards. A banner depicting a crowned skull has been raised proudly above the wooden barricade. Do we A, approach the barricade cautiously, or B, slip off the road and climb the wild hills to avoid the barricade altogether?